How are you? Yeah, very, very glad.
Mamãe tá aí ainda?
Tá aqui, só que ela tá trabalhando.
Isso ela quer trabalhar, né?
Mas ela quer fazer dinheiro. Ela tá trabalhando. Mas eu tava trabalhando ela, eu vi com ela, eu fiquei de roupa no carro.
Não sei.
Eu posso abrir a janela?
No, you're fine. Oh my God, how are you? So what did you make together? This is your bowl. That's nice.
Good morning, everyone. For all those exchanging Johrei, please end your Johrei so that we can arrange the chairs for our service. Thank you. yourself and dreaming. I have lost myself. Now will I beneath the sky, stars and midnight blue. Stars and midnight blue. You know when you give your love away, it opens your heart, everything is new, and you know time will always find a way to let your heart free. It's true. You know love is everything you say. A whisper I want, one message you give. You feel it in the heartbeat of the day. You know this is the way love is. Summer and time, summer and time, summer and time. Love is always on. Summer and time, summer and time, summer and time. Love is always on. You know love may sometimes make you cry, so let this go. It'll go away, for you know love will always let you cry. How far our hearts can fly away. Amaranth, amaranth, amaranth. Love is always love. Amaranth, amaranth, amaranth. Love is always love. You know that love shining in your eyes. It may be the storms. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to our 2022 Paradise on Earth service. We are here today to express our gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for the protection, help, and countless blessings we have received this past month, and to ask permission to serve in the divine plan for this coming month. We will begin our service today with the presentation of offerings to God. seated and pray along silently for the opening prayer.
Great God of light, with our deepest respect, we have gathered here at the Miracle Association Los Angeles Johrei Center to celebrate our Paradise on Earth celebration. We humbly offer you our prayers of praise, appreciation for protection, help, and countless blessings we have received this past month, and to ask for permission, guidance, and inspiration to serve in your divine work of the construction of paradise on earth. Please accept the materialization of our gratitude to our in-person and virtual presence, our monetary offerings, and by guiding our relatives and friends. Please give us the strength and wisdom to practice this year's guidelines in our everyday life. Following the example of Meishu Sama's great love and his teachings, let us build a strong faith within ourselves, the sincere service for the salvation of humanity through our basic practice of faith, attending services, channeling and receiving Johrei, guiding our family and friends, volunteering our time and labor, and providing offerings of gratitude are the essence of our mission in the construction of paradise on earth. May we strive to continue to establish paradise within our hearts and minds, creating homes of light, thereby helping to transform our communities and the world at large. May we receive great strength to realize Meishu Sama's ideals in our hearts, our homes, and our communities, so we become effective instruments of your divine light to bring happiness to everyone around us. Today, we will also present the sacred focal point, the Ohikari, to the following new member of our Miracle Association USA, Amanda Melo Figueiredo. Please allow us to spread the desire to create paradise on earth to all of North America. May the new age of happiness and everlasting peace, where love, goodwill, and understanding prevail, soon become a reality.
We will now present the pine branch offerings, symbolizing our gratitude for our shelter and clothing. The first pine branch will be offered by the Los Angeles Johrei Center head, Reverend Rodrigo Nagase. Representing all participants, Mr. Randy Payne. Please stand and join in the bows and claps. We will now pray the Amasanarito, the prayer of heaven, followed by the prayer for paradise on earth.
I'm getting this for you.
Pray together.
Amaharani kanzumarimasu.
Amuro mi no mi koto mochite. Sumemi oya kamui sanagi no mi koto. Zukushi no himuka no tachi hanano. Odono aragi harani. Misogi harai tamo. Toki ni nari maseru. Harai dono kamitachi. Moro no marakoto sumi kegareo. Arai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshio. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami aoyorozu no kami tachi tomoni. Ame no fuji komano mini furitatete. Hikoshi meseto kashikomi no maosu.
Yokomi kami.
Amori tamae saki hae. Miyoku mi kami. Amori tamae saki hae tamae.
Oshie mi oya nushi no kami.
Amori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oya nushi no kami. Amori tamae saki hae tamae.
Daddy.
Annagara
Tamachi haemase. Annagara tamachi haemase.
In deep reverence, we acknowledge the fact that the great God of light has appeared and will continue to appear on earth in many different manifestations in order to fulfill his plan of establishing paradise on earth. God will dispel all of earth's spiritual clouds, will cleanse all the sins and impurities from both the spiritual and the physical realms, and will bring about the ideal world of paradise on earth, one filled with light, everlasting joy, and happiness everywhere, a world all humanity and every living creature has longed for throughout the ages. In this paradise, there will be perfect weather all year round, with a gentle breeze blowing every 5th day, and rain falling every 10th day, without storms of any kind. Because of God's boundless love, all evil spirits and misguided ones will realize their mistakes and submit themselves to divine rule. All bad practices will cease, and all wrong laws will be corrected. Because negative forces will be awakened to truth and released from their attachment and undue desires. All forces of life will be able to fulfill their missions unhampered. Even nature itself, its mountains, rivers, and foliage, will be influenced by the love of God. All life, birds, animals, fish, and insects will have their rightful places and enjoy their individual lives. Such is the state of true and ideal world. In the sky overhead, birds of heaven will be seen flying, and auspicious clouds will float along, portending happiness. On earth, countless beautiful flowers will fill the air with their lovely fragrance. Holy sanctuaries of the God of light, in the sacred grounds, will soar into the sky, and countless magnificent beautiful centers and stately homes of light will fill all the towns of earth with their golden tiled roofs glittering in the sun. This is truly the picture of paradise on earth. Everyone will have bountiful harvests, and their storehouses will be full of grains. Fish are caught in abundance. Happy voices will be heard everywhere, and everyone will enjoy life to the fullest. Boundaries between countries will disappear. Enmities between races and all conflicts will vanish like bad dreams. All people on earth will become one under the rule of the great God of light. All will be embraced in God's loving arms. In our daily work and livelihood, we will be guided by God's intelligence and wisdom. We will all enjoy prosperity by doing good deeds, helping others, and accumulating virtue. Without need to rely on medicine, we will be blessed with health and longevity. O God, please bless us with your great love and boundless benevolence, and help us to live in accordance with your will. We pray from our innermost hearts that paradise on earth may be a reality. Great God of light, protect us and bless us with supreme happiness. Our founding spiritual father, Meishu Sama, protect us and bless us with supreme happiness. In accordance with your will, radiate our souls with your divine light.
Please be seated. We will now receive Johrei. Let us listen to Mei Shisama's teaching entitled Create Paradise Within Yourself. Most of our members probably think this way. Johrei is the greatest thing in the world. Practically any serious or difficult illness that cannot be cured by modern medical science can be healed by Johrei. We witness many miracles and blessings. My entire family is protected, and we can now live in paradise. I've never before seen or heard of such a splendid teaching. I would like to share this wonderful gift of Johrei with as many people as possible and guide them to the state of happiness I am living now. This must be how fervently most of our members believe in Johrei. Some of them are so enthusiastic about this that they cannot sit still, and they talk to their friends, relatives, and to everybody they meet. But contrary to their expectations, not many readily understand it. So they wonder if they aren't explaining it correctly, or they're somehow not in harmony with God's will, or have too many clouds. Thus, they worry a great deal. Similarly, some of our ministers wonder why their Johrei centers are not growing as fast as they wish, and they worry that maybe there is something wrong in their thinking or spiritual attitude. As a result, they create undue mental suffering for themselves. I understand that many in our movement feel this way, but in any profession, you cannot become a fully accredited practitioner in less than 3 or even 5 years. It would usually take 10 years to master the art of the trade. However, in our spiritual organization, you can start transmitting the divine light soon after attending our introductory course and receiving the sacred focal point, and would be giving Johrei to many people within 1 year of becoming a member. This is really remarkable. I can speak on the value of patience from my own experience. My work began not as a spiritual practice, but as a therapy, because the government had placed many restrictions on what we could say or do, including any criticism of modern medical treatments. A violation of these restrictions could even result in imprisonment. It was a very dangerous time. Nonetheless, we survived these difficulties and laid the foundation that led to the present remarkable growth of Johrei. Our goal is to create paradise on earth, but that has to begin on a smaller scale with the creation of paradise in our homes and families. For that to occur, paradise must reside in our hearts, and having paradise in one's heart means there can be no suffering in one's mind. Impatience is a form of suffering, as is agonizing over plans that have not worked out. We must rise above suffering. The best way to negate suffering is through gratitude. In this way, paradise will reign within one's own mind. You have to understand that all religions in the past have accepted suffering as something good. Some religious groups even advocate it as part of one's spiritual training, and they spread their teachings through enormous personal suffering and sacrifice. Thus, this belief in the merit of suffering is so embedded in the minds of many people that it is difficult even for members of Johrei to release. The past age has been referred to as the age of night, the age of hell. Even those with firm faith in God could not totally rid themselves of the sufferings of hell. However, the age of night is finally ending. We are about to enter the daylight age, and our organization will play a leading role in creating paradise. Therefore, as I said earlier, be careful not to foster suffering within your own mind, but rather create paradise within yourself. We will now have the presentation of the sacred focal point, the shoko, to the new Johrei member of our Miroko family, with the reading of the invitation to the new member. New member, please rise and approach the altar.
I would like to invite you all to witness the ceremony of presentation of the sacred focal point shoko. The issues of God, jury, service, and prayer, fundamental practices of our church. We all, regardless of whether we become members or not, should pray at the divine scroll, give service in the form of our time, labor, and donations, as well as receive jury constantly. However, receiving the Ohikari and Shoku signifies that you are accepting responsibility for and making the commitment of helping others through the channeling of Johrei. It's a lot of things to digest, right? By doing so, we are joining a like-minded group of people from all over the world who are working together to create a better world, a world of health, peace, and prosperity for all. This is what Meishu Sama called a paradise on earth. So at this time, I would like to share with you Meishu Sama's words about the sacred focal point. He said, "When I write the Ohikari and Shoko, my whole being is taken over by God and is permeated with divine light. God is working through my body, so I am one with God. God's wish is to purify the earth and to create a world of true happiness. The vibration of the divine will is transmitted through my hand and impressed on the character for light, which I write for the Ohikari. Now, in front of the divine scroll Meishu Sama, witnessed by all those present here today, I will present you with the sacred focal point. Okay.
We will now have the shoko presentation to Miss Amanda Melo de Figueredo. Let us welcome our new member. We would like to invite Ms. Fabiana Melo Silva to share her faith experience with us.
Good morning. My name is Fabiana Melo Silva. I am from Maui, Hawaii, and today I would like to share my faith experience with you. I ask Jana to read it for me, please. Thank you.
Faith Experience, Fabiana Melo Silva. I'm 45 years old and I'm going to be on July 24th, 12 years as a member. In my life, I have always experienced countless miracles. My mother passed to the spiritual world very young, when she was only 45 years old. She was a strong woman, very kind and loved by all, with a huge heart and an unshakable faith in God. I'm very proud to be her daughter. As a good mother, she left good seeds and good examples for our entire family. Maybe that's why, since I was a child, I always dreamed of being a mother. By science, doctors said it would be very difficult for me to get pregnant naturally. I tried for many years and failed. After a surgery to repair some organs that prevent me from getting pregnant, during this treatment, I had suppurative appendicitis. I suffered with a pain for over 17 hours until they found out it was appendicitis. They thought it was a problem with my first surgery because the pain was on the same side as my compromised ovary. There were so many hours in pain that I passed out. I clearly remember the doctor visiting me for the first time in the room after the surgery, showing me what was removed on a glass and saying that I was born again, that it was a miracle. After the surgery, I was in a lot of pain for 23 months on the right side of my abdomen. I tried many treatments, better doctors, and tests, and nothing worked. It was when one day of intensive purification, I felt a strong desire to find a Johrei center because I remember one of my friends giving Johrei and taking care of me when my mother was purifying 19 years ago. I remember him with much love and gratitude. After almost 2 hours searching for a church, I finally found it. I was received by a member and a minister who took care of me with love. I felt at the moment that I was in the right place. I felt that I was experiencing another miracle. In less than 30 days of receiving Johrei and making daily donations of gratitude, I was healed. I decided to become a member to do to others what they did to me, and I started taking the membership class. I received the Ohikari on July 24th, 2010. From that day on, a new Fabiana appeared in me. I dedicate a lot and silently receive a lot of joy. I was always available and tireless in my dedications. I experienced many miracles with joy. This is strengthening my faith every day. During this period, I also had the permission to guide people to the divine work. Of these, one is receiving the Shoko today, and 8 receive Ohikari in Brazil, and I used to live there. Among them, my father, who is now in the spiritual world, to whom I want a lot of love and gratitude, and my sister, who is now on a beautiful joy journey. I am very grateful to the reverends, ministers who taught me the importance of giving service, as well the importance of the 3 pillars of salvation, Johrei, beauty, and natural agriculture. From learning about Sorei Saishi, ancestors' enshrinement, from the importance of the donation of gratitude, from the pilgrimage to the sacred ground, from reading, teachings, as well from the members and friends, I have found my path to happiness and I have strengthened my faith. In October 2013, I found out I was almost 3 months pregnant, In the first consultation with my daughter's father, the doctor held our hands and said, "You have received a real miracle. I can only say this. I was 37 years old and he was 50 years old. My pregnancy was perfect. Our daughter was born perfect, full of health, beauty, and she's growing fast and she's bringing a lot of light to our lives. She's a very special girl, loving, selfless, sweet, and smart. I always heard good things about her from everyone." This is filled me with gratitude. She's very much loved by all, as her name says, Amanda. She's a miracle from God and Meishu-sama in our lives. Today, she's here receiving her shoko, the child law. And I'm very happy for her and for this special day. I know that, like me, your experience make miracles in your life. God and Meishu-sama always protect and enlighten your path. Daughter, I love you. Fabiana loves you. My desire is to serve as a useful instrument in the expansion of the divine work in Hawaii, where we live today, and through Johrei to experience people's lives. Thank you so much.
You want to read? So she's shy. That's okay. But she wrote as soon as I will read the letter. You will understand what happened. The title is "The Bird." Um, so Amanda wrote, "I wanted the shoko because one day I saw a bird and he was hurt and could not fly. So my mom gave Johrei to it, and I was worried, but happy at the end that the bird flew. I asked my mom, can I get the shoko? She said yes, and also because I would like to make my family happy."
Beautiful. We will now have greetings from Reverend Rodrigo Nagasi.
I'm me again. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our 2022 Paradise on Earth service. I would like to thank you all for the effort of being here, for all the travels. I know we have people from different places here in California, or even further from here. So I'd like to welcome everybody from San Francisco, San Diego, Santa Barbara, Ventura, and of course Maui. Yes, thank you. Welcome everyone. Thank you very much. And I forget it. We have from Rio, Brazil as well, right? And is that it? Everybody's here? Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Today is a very special day. It's the most important service of the year. We celebrate this once in a year, and it is very special to be here with all of you. Last week, we had our service at the headquarters in New York, and was a very special service as well because we had 4 new ministers being ordained this year. So we're very happy for their bright future from now on as well. And also our professor, Valera Brinkers, received her Komyo Ohikari. So please, thank you. Congratulations. We all received the shoko for this, right? Child love, that have the Wakari. And when you receive either role mission, as she's a senior instructor, or when you become a minister, then you receive a new Hikari for ministers and senior instructors, or when you become a minister's wife. So she also received the Omio because of her mission as well. So this is just for spiritual protection. As the mission grows, then the Ohikari changes as well, and also to have a bigger scope of their spiritual reach to help even more people as before. Right, so congratulations again. Thank you. We have something new today. This is something that I have been thinking a lot. Meisama wrote so many calligraphies, and I decided to make this like our prototype of a museum. Prototype as we can just enjoy Meishu Sama's art. We had before here Kannon, right? That he painted today as today's Paradise on Earth. So I brought to you Chijo Tengoku, that means Paradise on Earth, which is this big one. And this one is Johrei no Seigyo. This is the divine work of Johrei, right? So both of them are very beautiful. So you can appreciate after the service. Please enjoy the calligraphies as well. Meishu-sama always expressed his feelings through art, even through paintings or calligraphies or poems. That's why we have so many art in our church. And also talking about art, we have beautiful flower arrangements all over our Johrei Center. And right after the service at 12:30, we'll have our workshop downstairs at the lobby. I know that many people signed up for that. If you didn't, I think we have extra vases, so you ask Professor Valeria, and then we can accommodate for you as well. And today we have a tray of vegetables that members planted, they grew, and they offered here at the altar as their gratitude for this pillar of salvation. Remember that we always talk about the three pillars of salvation, which is Johrei, beauty and art, and nature farming. So every time that you plant something and you want to bring to offer here at the altar, please just let me know and we will present that for all of us, right? And they said it is different. When you plant, when you taste differently, it's everything tastes different. So it's a great opportunity to, to start your own home garden as well. Thank you for the faith experience. It was a beautiful experience. Thank you. And congratulations to the family. Amanda is a very bright kid, and this letter is so beautiful. And when I hear that, I feel the love of God and hope, right, in the world. We see so many purifications throughout the year, or a couple of years from now, many things happening in the world here in the United States, in other countries as well. And then I see young people like that having these sentiments of helping others, even a bird or something. It is really touching. Mesama says about becoming a member, he said, after taking a brief membership course, anyone can receive the sacred focal point and start transmitting the divine light to themselves and to others. This divine light Johrei starts to gradually remove the spiritual clouds from a person's spiritual body, as well as from those of their home and family, bringing about health, peace, and prosperity. Right? Today we have all these things that I showed you, and all started in June 15, 1931. That's why we celebrate today on June Paradise on Earth service. It was not the first revelation that Meisama received, but the most important one. Because of that revelation, Meishu-sama founded the church. Right? Meishu-sama created Johrei. Meishu-sama brought these three pillars of salvation and the importance of beauty in our lives. Everything started from that point on. After 4 years from that revelation, in 1935, January 1st, 1935, Meishu-sama inaugurated the church in Tokyo, Japan. And after that, he wrote all the teachings that we have available to help us really accomplish our mission as members as well. Do you remember what happened that day, June 15? I talk about that every year. Yeah, I think we all remember that. Reading the books and watching videos. And Misha-sama climbed Mount Nokogiri. It is in Chiba Prefecture, very close to Tokyo. And he went with a couple of disciples. So he kind of received the intuition that he had to go up and pray. He didn't know why, but he just followed his intuition, right? So he invited some members and he went there and they stayed one night before June 14th in a temple in the middle of the mountain. It's called Nihonji, right? And then everything after that, he was kind of thinking about all the events that happened that day, and then he explained that was because of the great event that he was taught by God. So when it was 4 a.m., June 15, he woke up and felt again that he had to climb to the top of the mountain. So he woke up everybody, and then they start climbing. From bottom to top, 40 minutes. So I guess from the middle would be 20 minutes. It's not that hard. So they went up, and it was almost 6 a.m. So the sun was rising, and he felt about praying. So for the first time with a group, he did the Amatsunurito prayer, the prayer that we do every day, right? And then he felt and he said to himself, something very important happened in the spiritual realm. So when he was going down the hill, he started thinking about everything that he saw at the moment. And after that, he started realizing what had happened in the spiritual realm. So he said that there happened a transition in the spiritual realm, as we have in 24 hours, day and night. He said also in the spiritual realm, we have day and night. And for 3,000 years, we were living in the age of darkness, in the age of night. And from June 15, 1931, we start living in the daylight age. Even if we understand, we believe or not, that's what happened in the spiritual realm. And everything started changing. So he said many things have changed. One thing, the most important one, is of the light of God would be increasing its intensity. So healing would be possible through light, through energy. Also, purifications would increase. That means everything that we hold inside us, all the impurities, all the spiritual clouds that we and our family were holding or even hiding will arise. That's why seemingly, as we see today, everything, it's kind of feels like so fast. All the results, even negative or positive, you can change your life daily if you can, if you want, right? It's so intense, the life, because when someone says, light, speed of light, sound is very fast. That's why we need also to understand the change and make adjustments every year to be in tune with the new age of light, right? From that day on, someone said to himself, I cannot just keep this for me. I need to share with the world. So how could be the best way to do so? So he thought about everything that exists in the world, religion, philosophy, everything, right? So he said, if we keep doing the same thing that we have been doing for the last 3,000 years, the results will be the same. So we need to change. So he said that one thing that we need to understand is that we need to create balance in our lives. So many people who they say they are spiritual oriented people, they kind of neglect everything that they have material, right? Oh no, I don't need it. I'm not material. I don't like it. I don't. It's not my thing. Money. Ooh, I don't like money, right? The other hand, if you say that you're materialistic, then I don't believe in God. This thing is for others. I don't care. And then someone says, we tried that before, not me, but all my ancestors, history tells that we tried everything. So he said that we need to make a drastic change in our way of living and thinking. So he said that God created everything. He created so many beautiful things as flowers, nature. He also allowed all the humans to be creative, to create everything that we see. We are hearing this beauty, right? Because of we have skills and we were able to create everything that we see here. So everyone, may someone says, has a peculiar and unique skills. We are unique, and if we find inside us and how we can use that for the goodness of others, this world will change fast. And that's why we are here. Right? Some brought to us not just the spiritual comfort that we are all looking through prayers, through teachings, but also how to help others to also then find their way, find their path, and be happy. Yes. Maybe someone wrote a teaching called 21st Century. And he wrote this teaching, if I'm not wrong, more or less in 1940s. So remember, when he wrote this was 1940. Did you have an iPad or iPhone in 1940? Maybe not, right? Did we have jets? Yes or no? Phil? Yeah? But wasn't that fast as today, right? Yeah. It's the Air Force. So I'd like to read a couple of parts because of time. I will not read. It's a 4 pages teaching, and if you want to read, please ask me. I can send it to you. It's like a dream that maybe someone woke up and started talking about that dream, right? So he said, I woke up at 6 this morning. From my pillow comes the faint sound of music that gradually becomes so loud I cannot go back to sleep. So I get up. I realize that the music comes from an alarm clock placed inside my pillow. I've seen that already in Amazon to buy if you are interested. Don't work to Amazon. I'm not taking any commission. As for newspapers, he continues. I turn to the human interest section. Strangely, there are almost no crime reports. Most of the articles I see in there are plentiful. Report on art, entertainment, and hobbies, such as sports, travel, musical, artistic events, plays, and motion pictures. The articles are intelligently compiled and written in an easy-to-read style, succinct and to the point, unlike the convoluted and diffuse stories of long age. They can be read quickly. Care has been taken to keep reader interest high. Also, the Mason says, I have finished the paper with a very pleasant, comfortable feeling. No wonder. All my windows are quite large, and the room is very bright and cheerful. Yet there is no need to secure the equipment. I hear later that stories of burglars breaking into homes have become tales of the past. What a splendid world, I think. I want to go out, dressed in fine clothing. I get into my car. The beauty of the town amazes me. The entire place looks like a flower garden. Interestingly, the only vehicles I encountered were automobiles. This is natural because mass transit and trucks run underground. The streets are for the sole use of automobiles, and they are noiseless. Electric cars, noiseless. Finding these cures, I looked carefully at the streets and find that the roadways seem to be paved with cork, right? And I found a research in the internet about cork being used in the pavement, so it absorbs water, and it's also helped with the noise from the cars. So remember, Midsummer wrote this in 1940. The cars are powered by a bit of ore, about the size of a fingertip. This ore is marvelous because it can propel a car for miles and miles. Something like uranium or plutonium. It produces energy through atomic fission, right? And then he continues, I would like the readers to imagine a town such as I have just described. In it, thousands, hundreds of flowers are in full bloom, their fragrances permeating the entire area. Different varieties of trees are bearing fruits. The community is incredibly quiet, not like a town at all, and very pleasant to stroll through. Window shopping is much like viewing art exhibits. Even in a large store, just one or two employees are enough to do the necessary work. I feel hungry, so I enter a restaurant. I look around, but cannot find an attendant. To one side of the entrance, I see a display of many delicious-looking dishes labeled with letters of the alphabet. As I sit down in a vacant chair, I discover my table has a number. I push the buttons that I find in a corner of the table, pushing first my table number, then the letter of the dish I want. Immediately, the desired wish appears before me. I find a button that says account and realize I should push it. The bill arrives immediately. I put the correct amount of money on the tray, which goes back down into the opening. My receipt then appears almost instantly. How simple. And Midsummer goes on and on and on, describing every single detail. Restaurant for us nowadays, yeah, we have that, right? But in 1940, this is amazing. So as this teaching, Midsummer wrote many teachings that when he wrote, wasn't that even a possibility, was just a utopia. As paradise on earth, when we pray, and or even in this teaching, Midsummer says about low crime, we are not there yet, right? So there are many things that we still have to cover to this teaching be truly true, right? And remember, as I just said, everything that we have developed in the world were made by man, by human beings, for all of us. So also our mission, especially us who have spiritual affinity with Jesus, is finding ways to develop something, right, to help humanity to achieve such a goal, right? We all received the Hikari as Amanda did today. And we had this mission to share God's light. Sama didn't create the Hikari or Johrei just for us, or just as something to hear something else. He says that's a way to eliminate all the negative side of humanity. So that's a great way to channel Johrei and change everybody's life, right? It's very hard to change that person, but channeling Johrei, that person will awaken to the truth and will change their lives as well, right? Listening to many faith experiences as Fabiana and Nanda as well, we see that one decision that she had in finding the Johrei Center again after 19 years, 19 anos now, that decision that comes from the heart. Oh, for some reason, I need to find Johrei, or I need to go there. This is not only us, but our ancestors also manifesting themselves, seeking light. So how many people out there, they're looking for something to change their lives, they don't know what it is. And we have something that might change their lives. It's just we asking, right? We raising our hands like this and bringing like that, right? So they can know and they can see what makes some abroad as they like age. Right? The teaching, right? Just to conclude my words, the teaching today is create paradise within. Is that it? Right? And we always say that everything starts here in our heart, right? From our heart, it will resonate with everything, right? So creating paradise in one's heart means no suffering at all in our minds, right? So Miss Sama says, worry is a kind of mental suffering. So who doesn't have worry, right? We say that when we grow up, oh, I have so many responsibilities. There is no way to not be worried. The word is something. Be responsible, something totally different, right? So let's kind of think about it, right? We don't have to be worried. We can really trust in God. We can really create our own path and but creating paradise within our hearts. Okay? So again, thank you very much. I just would like to read two poems of Meisha Sama, then I'll let you go. We have the Bible workshop. A civilization which disease, poverty, and conflict no longer exist will be a paradise on earth. Paradise on earth is a world where truth, virtue, and beauty manifest in perfect form. God bless you. Thank you.
This concludes our Paradise on Earth service. Thank you very much for joining us. We wish you a very blessed day.
Thank you very much.
I know, but this is the last service. Yeah. You better go get water.
Okay, Kibana people.
And that they don't maybe you guys they don't save us last. They have the like Izunumi, the sticker.
Yeah, the cross. Yeah.
Deixa eu só pegar.
Sorry.